right? Our Frank talk tonight is about the ANC Youth League. They're in the news because the NEC has disbanded them yet again. It's not happening for the first time. And in fact, even the last time, there was a task team. I don't know who gets to be in these task teams, but clearly you've got to have been in the ANC for 100 years, and they'll put you in this task team. But anyway, let's go back to just quickly deal with the contradictions that he identified in your argument about the task team and what it has to do, etc.
No, thanks, JJ. I think the ANC Youth League and comrades who mobilized around getting the disbandment into fruition, I think there would have been a better alternative. If you check the constitution of the Youth League, it makes provision for what is called an extraordinary Congress, which can be convened once it is demanded by 2/3 of the provinces that exist. So I think there would have been a more clear-cut constitutional way in which the youth within the Youth League would have been in total control of the destiny of what happens to the current or now the former leadership, as it were.
Yeah.
So mine is that Congress will come. Congress will come when comrades will be able to choose the leaders that they prefer, because I don't think it's going to assist us at all to argue about who's the entity and who is not. There will always be political interest in any process leading towards an elective conference, whether it is by the old or by the young. But the key thing is that we need to accept that this is where we are, and it's unlikely that things will change anytime soon, or that particular list can be amended anytime soon. So I really think that it is a serious decision. The ANC has taken the Youth League seriously in its call because it's really unprecedented. If you can look at the entire composition of the membership of the ANC Youth League vis-a-vis the number of young people who marched to Lutuli House, who marched to the NEC meetings, can we really say that it is a sufficient sample to then express the will of the majority within the ANC Youth League? And what more, or rather, what about the will of the majority of Congress delegates who elected the leaders that they elected at the previous Congress?
Yeah.
So the principle always need to uphold is that once you elect a leadership collective, you elect it knowing that they're going to serve a particular period of time, a particular term of office. Then there will come, moments where, be it through NGCs, be it through the next Congress, where you analyze. The criticism that has been put to the now erstwhile ANC Youth League National Executive Committee can also trickle down all the way to provinces, to branches, to regions as well.
Are you saying there's dysfunctionality across?
Now you're putting words in my mouth. But what I'm saying but the point I'm trying to make is that the criticism and the reasons for disbandment is not unique to squarely the NEC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then technically when you disband the NEC, you disband everything. So we do not have to disband the NEC and then go to Zinhle's branch and then, leadership are gone. So technically when we disband nationally, it means everything else that falls under national is also gone.
So it seems to me then there was a reason for the previous NEC not to go to Congress, because they would have nothing to take to Congress, according to what you are saying about the state of branches.
Well, obviously, under them, they put the ANC Youth League under ICU. But then they also had the opportunity, before their term ended, they also had the opportunity to resuscitate and correct their mistakes so that they can be able to take us to a Congress that, can be commendable. But they failed to do that. And then they had the audacity to then want to overstay their welcome, therefore disrespecting the Constitution, which gives us a framework on how we must do whatever we do within the movement. So that's the problem. But then now that we're done with them, they're gone, they disbanded, we're done with them. So that's not, we're not there anymore. We just are rejecting.
Can you answer my question about whether or not this is a symptom of the Youth League being not taken seriously? Let's just be objective about it. When Sir Ramaphosa came to power 18 months ago, he reshuffled this cabinet and left out young people up, and so on. And in fact, the Youth League admitted at that point that they were not happy with the reshuffle because the young people were not included. right? Of course, that picture has changed drastically now. But, that kind of, if you like, disregard of the Youth League at some point, right, may have pointed to the fact that, the ANC Youth League, for lack of a better way, is no longer a force to reckon with within the movement. Would you share that sentiment?
No, I don't think that's true because the ANC won because of the young people. So when it's time for elections, when it's time to campaign, the mother body always remembers us. They know us. They would come to us and say, you need to go campaign. And we do that. We are always at the forefront, campaigning for the mother body. But then when it comes to then, putting us in leadership or putting us in spaces where we need to be part of decision making, that's where the problem becomes. Then they just like, they become oblivious of our existence. So I think the problem also is that for the past 7 years, the ANC is also responsible for putting the ANC Youth League to the position where it is.
Yeah.
They need to take responsibility for that. But then also, we are here now trying to say, okay, so we see that for the past 7 years, people have technically forgotten about the ANC Youth League.
Yeah.
People are already saying that we're not relevant. They're saying that we do not have a voice on issues of young people. We have capable young people. SASCO has produced capable young people. We have branches that have produced capable young people. The only thing that we just need the mother body to respect us as young people, respect our political capabilities, and respect the fact that we understand the constitution of the ANC Youth League. We also have visions, we also have solutions.
Which means they don't at the moment.
No, they do not. They just
So you're agreeing with me that they're not taking you serious?
It's not that they do not take us serious. It's just that they're interested in whatever they're interested in, which is why you find a situation where young people are now involved in
Do you think the formation of the EFF destroyed the Youth League? And if it had not happened, maybe the Youth League would have been in a better position and to engage in a more robust way with the mother body?
I think also we need to avoid a situation where we over-exaggerate the EFF.
Well, there are 44 seats in Parliament.
Well,
exaggerate that.
No, that has nothing to do with the ANC Youth League. You're saying to me that, are we getting to a point where we are irrelevant because of the EFF?
Yeah.
I'm saying to you that, people always say, oh, during Malema, we respect Malema, it's fine. He used to be our former president. That will never change. It's part of history. It's part of... And
he was effective.
If you say so, I agree with you. So, and... No, if you say so, I agree with you. But
that's all I'm asking. I'm saying, do you think, right, if we kept that together and not let Malema go and take a chunk of the Youth League with him, let's face it, I mean, most of the initial core of the EFF
no, you need to. I don't think,
were ANC Youth League members.
I don't think Malema took a chunk of young ANC members with him. He took some and found some that were homeless and turned them into EFF.
Yeah.
And the ANC has been incapable of getting all those young people that are homeless
to the side.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we're now saying, that give us this opportunity because you are losing yourself. The only reason that you're losing is because you have pushed us to the peripheries. You are pretending like we do not exist. And because you're pretending like we do not exist, that is why you're finding yourself in a situation where young people do not even believe in the movement anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here.
Mohau, what's your take? I mean, is this convincing an approach and is believable that indeed we have a situation where maybe the mother body doesn't see, right, doesn't look at the Youth League the same way that previous NECs over the years had looked at young people?
No, look, I think the mother body will remain the mother body. Obviously, whichever dominant faction exists at the helm of the mother body will want as many fraternal structures as possible to sing in a similar tune, as it were. Obviously, with a little bit of space for contradiction. So, in my view, the question actually that we should be answering is how do we prevent future calls for disbandment, if any? I think that would be a more critical question to explore, in depth. But quickly, whether the Youth League is taken seriously and whether the EFF had a negative impact on it, that would have been, and that was supposed to be determined by the ANC Youth League itself, as well as delegates at Congress who voted for the leadership. So I think the Youth League has a responsibility now of ensuring that instead of demanding to be the NTT, which is a temporary structure, go down to branches, regions, provinces, and identify the best among you who can be able to take the Youth League forward to challenge this whole notion and perception about it being irrelevant. The strength of an organization rests in the strength and caliber of its leadership. So we hope that post NTT, these kinds of things will be avoided altogether.
Yeah. I want us, after the break, I want us to talk about the way forward. What is the ideal, atmosphere within which a youth league can flourish, right, in our political environment? Because it looks, like we thought, with all disrespect to the current leaders and what, but that there seems to be a deterioration of the quality of programs, right, of the youth league over the years, the quality of leadership, the quality of interventions, and the quality of the relationship that the youth league has with the mother body. That's the first thing. The other thing, is maybe there may be an opportunity, right, to use the fact that so many of the young leaders, right, have been appointed into cabinet, including from the current leadership, right? And the question may be, how can that be used maybe for the ANC Youth League to direct its energies, right, into supporting those comrades, and as a result making an impact into government. And I would like to hear your views about that. And at the same time, I would like to understand what is this thing about guerrilla warfare that the ANC Youth League is. I mean, it's bizarre, but maybe I don't understand. I'll hear from the leaders straight here after. Let's take a break now.